with Bloomberg Quint.
Good morning, you're watching the F&O show on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. I'm Navneet Saluja D'Souza.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Darshan Mehta. Let's take a look at the headlines first. The Nifty gives up 11,100 at opening as pharma stocks and private banks lead the drop. Open interest in Ramco Cements and Just Dial increases after traders take fresh positions in their respective futures. Amber Enterprises list at 1180 per share at a premium of more than 300 rupees over its initial price. Amul wants to cash in on India's growing love for eating out. The country's largest dairy wants restaurants and catering sales to contribute to up to 25% of its turnovers in the next 7 years. And higher inventory is expected to help Indian Oil Corporation offset some of the impact of higher crude prices in the third quarter.
All right, let's take a look as to what's happening with the markets today. Well, it is a weak opening that we are seeing on screens. Yesterday, it was about the broader markets, but today both the broader as well as the benchmark indices have tumbled in trade. Let's just pull up the rates and tell you the Nifty futures last when I checked were trading at a discount. Remember, yesterday they did close at a premium, but okay, right now they're once again trading at a premium of almost 18 points. And remember, this premium has gone up as compared to yesterday's closing premium. But 11,050 is the spot where Nifty trades, and I guess this is the day's low level, down 80 points. The futures are hovering around the mark of 11,066. If you could just pull up the other plate of Nifty futures and see if there is any sort of build-up, because yesterday throughout the session towards the end, the build-up was only about 2%. So no major fresh bets are being taken when it comes to Nifty or Bank Nifty right now. So only 1% higher in terms of open interest, and the kind of OI addition that you see during the day that gets wound up towards the end of the day. Let's also pull up the Bank Nifty futures and see if there is any action seen there. Surprisingly, the Nifty PSU banking space is the sole sectoral index which is standing in green today, and the Bank Nifty February futures, though trading with cuts today, but premium is currently 46 points, 3.5% higher when it comes to the open interest addition. That's the Nifty PSU bank. As you can see, that's trading in the red with cuts of 1%. And as we've highlighted, the market breadth is weak because the broader markets are also trading weak. But if you look at the option side of the data, we've seen a lot of call writing coming back into the system. Look at strikes like 11,000, 11,100 or 11,300. All these strikes today have seen significant OI addition between 1 to 2 lakh shares. But when it comes to the support, we've seen the support for Nifty will be at about 11,000. It's just 45 points away from that. And for Bank Nifty, watch out for a support mark of 27,250. And yesterday, Darshan, if you look at the institutions' data, the FIs, they've been buying protection. So there was a lot of open interest. There was a lot of contracts added on the put long side.
Yeah, so basically, just wanted to say that, first of all, look at the global cues. Dow futures is down 250 points, and that is something that, investors are taking at. Look at how the Asian markets are panning out. Nikkei is down almost 1%, most of them. So we're following what global cues are doing. And yesterday, one important factor was that despite the Nifty being up, and that was managed because of certain sectors, because every day some of the other sectors.
We had HDFC doing pretty well yesterday.
HDFC Bank and Maruti took leadership there. Yeah. But mid caps were down 1%, small cap was down 1.5%, and the Nifty small cap today is also down 1.5%. So that's it. One interesting point that today put writers are so active. 11,100 to 11,300, almost 3 lakh shares have been added in each of the the strike prices. So indicating that there is significant amount of resistance that's coming in. So that's what we are watching out. But I think before we have to move on to the F&O show, we have to take a slight detour because the management of Laurus Labs is joining us. Yesterday, the numbers came out. Numbers not the best of numbers. It was a weak quarter. If you're looking at the sales was down almost 5%. Profits were down 20%, and EBITDA margins came down. Let's ask the management what exactly happened. Joining us on the show is the founder and CEO Satyanarayan Shava of Laurus Labs joins us. Good morning, sir. First of all, let's take a look at the numbers. Sales were down almost 5%. Any view of what was the reason why these sales came in much lower this time?
Good morning. The main reason for our lower sales this quarter was hepatitis C segment did much lower than what we expected. But other than that, we have done very well in the rest of the segments like oncology, synthesis. We have done exceedingly well. If you look at ARV also, we did a little less. But when we compare our performance in 9 months year on year, we did very well in ARV, synthesis, oncology, except to FC. Other than FC, the company is in a very sound footing. There is also a lot of diversification of revenues happened in the last 9 months of this year.
So supplies, you said that the synthesis business did well, and one of the reasons was the supplies that restarted to Aspen. How do we see this business going ahead?
We inaugurated Unit 5 in the last financial year. From that unit, we started commercial supplies to Aspen. That was the reason. If you look at the even quarter on quarter, our synthesis went up by almost 20%. Synthesis business used to contribute 4% in FY16. It went to 5.5% in FY17. And FY18, already we're at about close to 8% of our revenue. So that's a big jump from synthesis division.
Okay, and how do you see margins going ahead? Because the fixed overheads from the recently commissioned facilities will also kick in.
See, if we look at our gross margin, we have improved our gross margins by 1% in the last quarter. But our EBITDA was lower because we continue to spend large amount of money in our formulations development, OPEX of the formulation unit. We also inaugurated a new unit, Unit 4 in November. So because of more operational expenditure and R&D expenditure, our EBITDA looks lower. But if you look at the gross margin, we did very well gross margin-wise, improved by 1% when compared to the last quarter.
Okay, my final question, sir, any forthcoming US FDA inspections that is expected?
We have FDA inspection to our Unit 2 next month, end of next month.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for joining us and giving us a broad indication of what happened with your results and what we can expect going ahead. Navneet?
Well, most of the pharma earnings have been weak, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Wockhardt was also a big disappointment yesterday.
Okay, let's move ahead. Before we get our guest on the show, here's a reminder. If you have any queries regarding the futures and options market, you can call us now on 022-4540-4141. Or you can also write to us on our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook with AskPQ hashtag. Let's welcome our F&O experts for the day. Then Nirav Shedder of Nirmal Bang Securities and Amit Shah of BOB Capital Markets joins us on the show now. Good morning to both of you, gentlemen, and appreciate you joining us today on Bloomberg Quinn. Amit, let me come to you. The call by majority of the derivatives or technical analysts was stay with the momentum, don't short this market. But the kind of sell-off that we've seen, or call it profit booking ideally from the top, what should one do if somebody had taken along, or let's say if somebody was staying away from this kind of market? Is it the right level to enter?
See, right now, considering the rollovers, what we have seen, it is quite strong. Technically, the market is in an uptrend. So it's more of a, right now, what we are seeing is more of a price in the time consolidation or the retracement, which will be short-lived. On the downside, 10,990 is the key support. Till the time we are holding above these levels, the market can surprise anytime on the upside. However, if it violates 990, then we need to monitor how the other indices are doing, like India VIX, which is hovering around 17.5 to 18 odd levels. Above 19, that would arise some panic. On the even if you see on the distribution side, the maximum call and the put, it's quite in the wider range.
Yes, 12,000 call is sitting with
12,000 call and 10,500 on the put side, which purely indicates that market is quite uncertain. We are lined up with the event which is lined up on this Thursday. All eyes are on those budget. So it's more of a price and time consolidation which we may witness. So someone who is looking to enter a long trade should wait for a confirmation and keep 10,990 as a trading stop loss.
Do you share the same view as far as mid caps and small caps is concerned, or is this your view that because what we've seen is that mid caps and small caps are getting hammered over the past few days, but Nifty is being managed because of certain stocks and certain sectors taking leadership. So on a broader market, what's your view?
So it's purely the front line which are leading the market. Mid caps are definitely trending weak. If you see the mid cap 50 index, it's trading around 5400 odd, which is at the support level. The more it sustains below 5400, I feel that the index itself can correct by around 3-4%, which can bring more selling to these stocks. So it's more of the front line that contributing towards the Nifty uptrend. So mid cap is definitely a cautious view.
Okay. What about you, Nirav? Do you share the similar view as far as the Nifty is concerned, and any view on the mid caps as such?
Yeah, see, from the perspective of Nifty, there is a 9-week uptrend that Nifty has gone. Every week on week there has been, a higher close. So I believe the consolidation is very likely to come. If you, combine that with a technical perspective, a shooting star kind of a formation has happened yesterday, and we've actually been trading below its yesterday's low. So that does confirm that very likely Nifty is going to, consolidate or witness some sort of selling pressure, coming ahead. I believe with the budget also coming ahead and Nifty moving at least about 800 points from 10,400, there is likely to be a cautious view now going forward. I wouldn't be a buyer at current levels. I would be waiting for at least 10,800 or 10,700 going forward.
Okay, that's the view on the markets, but let's quickly talk about the option strategies that our guests have to share with us today. And Nirav Chheda has a bear spread on Nifty, but before we take a look at his strategy, let's tell you what that exactly means. A bear spread is employed when one expects a moderate down move in a security. Well, in this strategy, a put option of a certain strike is purchased and a put option of a lower strike is simultaneously sold. Nirav, over to you. Take us through your option strategy for the day.
Yeah, see, my strategy here is bear put spread. Now again, I do not see Nifty going above 11,200 in the next 2 weeks. So I believe it should now correct at least up till 10,900 or 10,850. So one can go long on 11,000 put options and go short simultaneously on the 10,850 put options. The combined spread that you are giving is 45 points. So 45 points is your maximum loss. You are not going to make any more loss more than the 45 points, and your maximum profit will be 105 points below 10,850. So it seems like a good strategy. I'll be waiting for 10,800 before buying anything in Nifty or the indices at the moment.
Amit, any option strategy that you have? And first, I just wanted to mark KPIT Tech. Obviously, it's news driven, has come up significantly from the day's low. A sudden spike over the past few minutes. So KPIT is something that we want to watch out. It's come into the green. Any view on KPIT also?
Okay, so firstly, I don't have any index strategy. As I mentioned that I would be in a wait and watch mode, where on the downside 10,990 would be the key trigger level, and on the upside a confirmation above 11,100 will provide me some comfort for the longs. However, on KPIT, the stock has seen, firstly, quite bullish on IT space.
Okay.
I feel that IT can outperform the broader market. If you see even the rollovers, especially the mid-cap IT space, KPIT and IIT all have seen a very substantial rollovers to the next series. So KPIT is definitely trading in an uptrend. On the downside, it has a good support around 195, 190 zone. And on the upside, the more it sustains above 210, I think the momentum is poised towards 230, 235 levels on the upside.
Okay. That's a quite bullish view that's coming in on KPIT.
But there are a lot of other stock futures, Darshan, that are buzzing in today's session. And well, I can't take my eyes off Reliance Communication. I know it's a high beta counter. Not many traders like to trade into this. But Reliance Communication, that's your top F&O security for the day. It's trading with gains of almost 11% right now. Look at the open interest build up, 20% higher. Remember, the earnings had come yesterday, and the losses for the company in the third quarter have narrowed after they sold their wireless business. Even the finance cost had come in lower. But Nirav, if I could come to you, Reliance Communication at levels of 30, would you take any fresh bet on the upside?
See, after a good consolidation, I am waiting for a breakout of 31. As you said, there are long positions being built in. However, 31 is a strong resistance for this stock. Once that is broken out, I can see levels of 38 and 40 also coming in. With a stop loss of 28, you can buy about 31 levels.
Okay, any view, Nirav, that you have on, let's say Ramco Cements? High open interest build-up of 29%. Anything on Ramco Cements?
Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of shorts being built in this counter. In fact, I feel it can come down towards the 735, 740 levels. So one can go short at current levels with a stop loss of about 775 and a target of about 740, 735.
Okay, so one can look to take fresh short positions on Ramco is what the advice is coming from Nirav. Well, yesterday was the day for Fortis Healthcare and Dr. Reddy's. Both these pharma stocks tumbled, and today is the day for Wockhardt Pharma. That's down almost 5.5%. Let's pull up that stock future and see if there are any sort of fresh short build-ups. That yes, open interest is up as much as 8% right now. Amit, 5.5% lower. Would you take a fresh short position here?
Yes, so even if you see the broader structure, it's quite negative. On short term, it had attempted to give some pullback, but considering the level on the downside, it has violated 885 with strong volumes. So that would be my stop loss level. And the more it sustains below 885, I think the stock can head towards 810, 820 levels.
Okay, let's get into some viewer queries. There is Monish Bhatia who's written in, and he has 3,000 TCS put at 33 rupees. What should he do, Amit? Any help for Monish?
At what price?
33 rupees.
I think it's around the same level right now, 33.
So I would recommend that if it is trading around the same level, one should exit the position. As I believe that IT is a space where buying momentum can continue. The rollovers also were quite strong. TCS, in fact, has trading along at its all-time high levels. So it is consolidating for time, but I don't see a downtrend in this. In fact, the more it sustains about 3130, I think it can head towards 30 to 50, 3300 levels.
Okay, Monish, so the advice is you should exit from this short position that you've taken on TCS as the momentum currently is on the upside. On YouTube, Saloni writes to us, she wants a view on Punjab National Bank. She's bought the 200 strike call option for intraday, which she's bought at 3.5, and I guess the current premium is around the same level. Nirav, if I could come to you, Punjab National Bank, it's an intraday trade which Saloni has taken. What do you think she should do?
See, for intraday, she can continue to hold on. However, I wouldn't really tell her to hold positions. For intraday, I do believe it can come up towards 177, 178, which is where she can book her call positions. Also, 171 is a good support area. So once that breaks, that is when she should be exiting from the call positions on the lower side.
Okay, one more viewer query coming in, and Nirav, you should help Vijay here. Vijay Setupati, he writes to us on YouTube. He's short on Sun Pharma futures at 581. He wants to know if it's the right time to exit. I think the shares are pretty much at the same level at this point of time. If we can pull that out, it's 584. So he's down 3 rupees on it. What should he do, Nirav?
See, for Sun Pharma and especially for pharma and IT, I believe now both these sectors are now going to move up at least 5 to 10% from here. There has been buying seen in Sun Pharma as a whole. Also, there's good volume been seen. So I do not think one should be shorting Sun Pharma at current levels. He should be exiting positions. It can move up to 620, 630 odd levels. So he can in fact turn a buyer from current levels.
Okay, that's the view on Sun Pharma. And our next query comes from Ashish Yadav. He's written to us on Facebook. He's saying he's rolled over his ICICI Bank futures, which he bought at 331. He wants to know if he can exit before the budget. Well, clearly, Ashish, this week will be volatile. And as you can see it on the screen today itself, there is some profit booking which is coming. But let's pull up the ICICI futures. 354 right now. And his rollover price is 331, Amit. What would you suggest him before the budget? Should he be booking profits?
So see, I see that the stock is firstly in an uptrend. ICICI Axis have outperformed the other banking stocks. What he can do is he can trail the stop loss to 349, which is not that far. It's like 5 rupees, and hold on to the long position. The reason is once it starts sustaining on a sustained basis about 358 odd, I feel that the stock can see some action towards 370 levels.
Okay, Radhika Sharma has also written to us on YouTube. Long on HDFC Feb futures at 1910. Wants to know what could be done now. Amit, you can take this one.
So the stock has, after the results, it has seen a very good rise in the open interest and volumes, plus a breakout about 1920 confirms that the stock can see further action towards 1980, 1975 levels on the upside. Having said that, I think the stock is right now witnessing some consolidation. It can reverse in maybe 1 or 2 days time frame, where on the upside again it can retest its recent high of 1980 odd. One can revise the stop loss to 1920 and hold on to the long position.
Okay, that's the view on HDFC. The numbers were good and the stock yesterday touched its all-time high levels, but today is the day when some profit booking has been seen. Well, it's that time of the show when we get you some trading strategies on individual stocks. Nirav, I'll come to you. What are you recommending today?
Yeah. See, the first one is a sell on Siemens. Looking at the counter, it looks really weak. There has been volume and short built up in this counter. Rollovers have been weak in capital goods as a whole. So I believe one can short at current levels with a stop loss of 1296 and a possible target of 1250. The second one is a buy on HUL futures. HUL has made a fresh 52-week high today, all-time high. In fact, one can witness a good amount of buying support coming in HUL from the current levels also, so one can go long. It is near our stop loss area, but one can take a stop loss about 1370 and go long in this counter. It can actually move up to 1450, 1470 odd levels in the medium term.
What about your strategies, Amit?
Well, so I am long on Mindtree. I would recommend that the stock, as I mentioned, that mid-cap IT can outperform substantially in coming weeks' time. So Mindtree amongst the entire lot looks the best. It's trading around 765 odd. I recommend with a stop loss of 740, and one can look for target towards 820 levels on the upside.
Okay.
My other buy is on Titan. The stock has seen a very good rollovers. It has the open interest, if you see, from 0.74 crores to it has increased to 1.05 crores in the during the expiry. So the rollovers have been quite strong in Titan. The stock is trading around 904 or is in action since morning. On the downside, 880 would be the good support level for 960 upside target.
Okay.
All right, so those are a couple
Titan
of the trading strategies. Titan and Mindtree is what Amit is recommending for the day, and both are on the long side. I'm just going to take one more viewer query. It's come on YouTube. I don't have the name here, but wants views on HDFC Bank 2080 call strike on the long side and bought at a premium of 13 rupees. And I guess the current premium is around the same level. Amit, you've already given your view on HDFC. What about HDFC Bank?
So both these counters are quite strong. So even for HDFC Bank, he can hold on to the position till the time it is sustaining above 1960. That would be the key support level for the momentum. And about again 2000, if it sustains, then I feel the stock can poise towards 2040, 2060 levels in this expiry.
Okay, some other stocks that are pretty much buzzing in trade. Just Dial seems to be down in trade on an open interest build-up of 18%. Nirav, any view on Just Dial?
Yeah. See, Just Dial has witnessed some aggressive short built up from current levels for today. I believe it can come down towards 480 levels, which is a good support area. So one can go short even here and on rallies up to 545 and keep a stop loss of about 560 for your shorts for a target of about 480.
Well, the PSU banking index is pretty strong today. It's up 1.5% in a weak market. And if you look at the gainers there, Canara Bank, State Bank of India, Indian Bank are the top 3 gainers on that index. Amit, anything from this space where you would look to take any fresh position, especially State Bank of India? It's up 2% now.
Yeah, so that's what I was coming to, that in the entire PSU space, SBI is somewhere, it provides me some comfort on technical front. So someone who wants to trade in PSU counters, one can look at SBI, definitely. I had recommended a call option strategy last week also on this. It has a good support around 310 till the time it is holding about 310, 308. I think the stock can see some action towards 330 levels again.
Okay, we've got one more query on Facebook from Aurobindo Panda. He seems to be our regular viewer. Thanks for writing to us, Mr. Panda. He's got Maruti 9700 call strike for February series at a premium of 210, and he wants to know what should he be doing with this. And I guess the current premium is above his buy price of 210. It's hovering around the mark of 240 or 245. Nirav, what would you suggest? 9700 call strike on Maruti. He is making money. He entered at 210, currently 245. Should he be booking his profits?
No, I believe Maruti is now likely to move up to 9900 odd levels, which was its previous top. After a good consolidation, 9200, 9300 has witnessed some good volumes at those levels, good rollovers also, and auto sector as a whole is now moving up. So I believe it can still move up to 9900 levels. That is where he books his profits.
Okay, a quick last query that's come in from Kimil Soni. Amit, you can take it. Bought Eicher futures yesterday at 27,700. What should one do if you can bring up the futures of Eicher's? We'll come to know what exactly the price is. He's down almost 2%.
So the stock is in a downtrend. I don't see the stock can see any action till the time it is decisively holding about 28,900. So I think one who is long on this can definitely consider to exit position on every rise. On the downside, the worst stop loss what he can keep is 26,600. Once it breaks that, then definitely it's an exit.
Okay, so that's the view on Eicher.
All right, we're running out of time. We'd like to thank both our guests, Nirav as well as Amit. Thanks a lot for joining us today and taking us through your views in the derivatives market and also helping our viewers with their queries. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the F&O Show, but stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint Live for more news and updates.